Thank you so much. So as you know, I'm Kylie Sultana, and together with my husband, my beautiful husband there, Anthony Sultana, we have a financial planning business called Creo Wealth. So that is us there. And so our motto, I guess, is don't work harder, make your money work smarter. So it doesn't matter how much money you earn. Oh, let's see why that's not, there we go. Disclaimer. So anyone in financial services will understand that I need to have this up here for legal purposes. So anything that I talk about in this presentation is not intended to be advice. It's just general information, and you need to consider the appropriateness of the information in regards to your personal objectives, financial situations, or needs. So a little bit about who we are. So Anthony is the certified financial planner. He's a lover of numbers and a scuba enthusiast. He also loves skydiving and adventure sports. We call him our Superman because he knows superannuation inside out. And I'm Kylie Sultana, and I am in charge of our business development. I'm the organisational queen because Anthony is a little bit all over the place sometimes, so I need to come in and crack the whip and get him organised. And the style aficionado. So for anybody that doesn't know me well, I actually have trained as a personal stylist amongst a couple of other jobs, which I might get to later on if I feel like sharing. So who do we work with? We work with accumulators. So they are people that are still working and saving for their retirement. Generally, they're in the age group of 30 to 55. We do work mostly with couples. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe it's because we're a couple. We just seem to get a lot of couples. We also work with pre-retirees and retirees. The general age group is 55 to 70. So they're people that are kind of winding down and they can see the light at the end of the working tunnel. They're thinking, oh, I need to start thinking about retirement. What can I do? I want to make sure that I've saved enough money and that, I'm not going to be living on the poverty line when I retire. And as well, retirees, we do get a lot of referrals from current clients. They talk to friends at their barbecues or wherever and say, listen, go and see my advisor, he's fantastic. So we do get some retirees as well that just need some help sorting out their finances. And then as well, Anthony is an aged care specialist. So generally it's when the elderly parents need to go into full-time care. So this is a really highly emotional time for a lot of families. And we generally deal with those children and the powers of attorney to help work out financial strategies and how they're going to fund going into that aged care residence. We don't like to call it a home, it's a residence because they're going to live there. So our services. So, this is kind of what we do, but what we really do is we look at, when somebody comes to see us, we look at what they want to achieve. So if it's, wealth creation or they want to have a comfortable retirement, these are the things that we do underneath. So these are purely just something that we use to get them to where they want to be. So we specialise in superannuation, the wealth creation, personal risk, which is the life insurance, income protection, trauma, all those personal insurances, and the aged care. So that's just a little bit about what we do day to day, but we've started to change how we do that. So we've started to recognise that everybody has a money story. And we also need to set financial goals. And I'm just going to finish off a little bit about why I've developed the online course for couples, and it's the Love and Money. So that's what I'm rolling out at the moment. So, but to start off, it's all about money stories. So what is a money story? So we all have one and there's no right or wrong with it. And what it is, it's our own personal narrative of how we grew up and thought and the language that was used around money in the home. So it could be that if you grew up in a wealthy home, you never had to worry about money. So you might have a really positive attitude or a really positive money story, whereas the next person could have grown up in a poor home and it was always like, we can't afford that. or we can't, or we haven't, or we don't have. It's all around that language, and that can have a profound effect on you later in life subconsciously. You don't really realize that. And it can also have an effect on your relationships. So when two people come together that have differing money stories and personalities, it can cause friction there. And money is classed as it's seen as a taboo topic. So we're trying to remove that and start conversations and acknowledging your money story. So my story, I was going to take this out. So I actually grew up in Claymore. It's a suburb out in Sydney's western suburbs in out near Campbelltown. So I actually did a little bit of searching on it yesterday because I was going to post a photo of the house, and it's actually quite tragic. So, but Claymore is actually in the top 5 of the most underprivileged suburbs in, I think, the country or New South Wales. So I grew up with my aunt. So so I grew up with my aunt. I didn't have a father. So the language that was used in the house was, we don't have any money. We can't afford that. I was told to go and marry someone rich because I'd never amount to anything. So growing up, that language has had a profound effect on me. So, for us to turn that around today and to know, we own our home, I have my own private share portfolio, we have investment properties, we live a comfortable lifestyle, we get to have overseas holidays a couple of times a year when we can travel. We are running a successful business, but I'm showing this because it's good for people to know that we practice what we preach. We don't just say, this is what you need to do to have a secure financial future. Sharing this is to say that it doesn't matter where you're from or how much money you earn, because I'm happy to share that we, have a successful business, but we don't necessarily earn a lot of money. I've never been in a job in previous years where I've earned 6 figures. So we've managed to do all of this because we invested smart. So it goes to show that you don't need to have a lot of money to create wealth. So on the back of that, so it's setting financial goals. So, we try and get clients to recognize, their money personalities and their money stories. So, but everything comes back to goals. So, we need to set goals. It keeps us focused, helps us with motivation, and it gives us that sense of achievement, particularly if we set some short-term goals along the way. So we always encourage our clients to have a short, medium, and long-term financial goal. So I kind of liken having a goal to when you are driving somewhere for the first time. So this is me personally, and most people would do this. I'm not sure about everyone, but you wouldn't just if you're going somewhere completely different, you wouldn't just get in the car and drive. I research what time of the day I'm going there. I get onto Google Maps. I want to see how long it takes. I want to see what the traffic's like. How much petrol do I need? Am I going to need to stop and get petrol? I might need to leave a bit earlier. So the same can be said for financial goals. If you want to get somewhere, you need to have a roadmap. You need to do research. You need to know where you're going and how you're going to get there, because unless you know that, you're never going to get there. So you need to have some sort of a goal. And this is the same as a money story. It's unique to everybody. Everybody has different goals, and it really doesn't matter what it is. But unless you've set them and you've got a plan to work towards it, I mean, it's all good and well to set a goal, but unless you've actually got the plan and that roadmap, you need to put it into your financial GPS and, work out how you're actually going to get to that goal. So if you haven't thought about setting financial goals, I thought that this would be some really good food for thought. Now, these figures are from the December quarter 2020, so I'm not sure about these figures, if they're correct. They wouldn't be far off. But according to the ASFA retirement standard, a comfortable lifestyle in retirement is, and this is for singles, is just over $44,000 a year. A modest lifestyle would be $28,000. That one on the bottom there, that is what the government age pension is. It's $24,500. So if you're a single, you need to look at what it costs to be you. What does it cost to be you? Are you on track for that comfortable lifestyle, or do you need more than that? I mean, these are just general average figures, but you might want more than that. You might want to travel more. So you might need more than that lifestyle. So you need to check if you're on track for that comfortable lifestyle. And then there's for couples. So a comfortable lifestyle for a couple is just over $62,500. Modest is $40,000. And then the age pension, this is for a couple, is $37,000. And I can tell you now that possibly isn't even going to be my bag and shoe allowance in retirement. So, again, you need to figure out how much it costs to be you as a couple, if you're on track, and talk to your partner about your retirement goals. If you're part of a couple, you need to share some common goals, because what we've been seeing, what we have seen and what we still do see a lot is couples live their whole life and work together, and they never sit down and talk about what they want to achieve or what they're both going to do together once they get to retirement. And I think that's why a lot of couples seem to separate. It's like, oh God, they've been married 30 years. Why are they separating now? Surely they know each other. But it's because they just drifted apart and they've never talked about what they actually want to do once they retire together. And that is why we have started to develop this Love and Money course, because we want people to stay together. We want them to have, an abundant life. We want them to be wealthy in life for whatever wealth is to them. So we are wanting to get couples early on in the piece to just educate them about wealth creation, about their superannuation, about how they can move forward, and basic budgets. So many people have trouble just with basic budgeting. They don't know where their money's going. They don't know how to get off that hamster wheel. So it's designed to set couples up for success, and we're launching in October. So what's included, we are having it's over 6 weeks. So they'll get to spend 6 weeks with Anthony and myself. So we cover things like their money stories, money personalities. We encourage them to have what we call a dollar date night, to sit down together and start conversations. We're going to be going through like some budgeting with them, setting some financial goals. Lots of fun things. There's worksheets. I've got 4 experts coming on. In fact, Dana is coming on to be our general insurance expert. I've got a family lawyer coming on that's going to talk about money in a relationship, the legalities. I've also got a mortgage broker that's coming in and is going to talk about home loans, things like that for us. And I'm lining up like a property investment specialist to come in and talk about property investing and how they can create wealth through that. We're going to have a private Facebook group where they can come in, and then Anthony and I will be doing lives over the 6 weeks as well. So, and for our beta launch, we're only charging $297, but that's definitely not going to stay at that price. So that is me. So I'm sorry I wasn't keeping time, but that's all of our contact details there. Would love to see you all over on the gram. I haven't got Facebook there, but I have been doing some lives a lot on Facebook, and would love to see some of you over there. I'm doing one today actually at 11 o'clock. So yeah, that's me.
Great. Thank you so much, Kylie. I actually really love the concept of the Love and Money course. In fact, I'm actually tempted to buy one for my daughter, who's getting married soon, and her soon-to-be husband. Is it? And they're young; they're a young couple.
Yeah.
So, is the course suitable for young ones who are learning about their money stories and learning about budgeting and setting
absolutely
goals?
Absolutely, because it really is just the basics. And I think when you're in the industry, you kind of overthink and you're like, oh, people know this, don't they? But they actually don't. So this actually is like a basic level of just getting them to open up and start conversations with each other, start talking about their future, where they want to be. Yeah, just things like that. But budgeting, yes, we'll educate them on their superannuation. The dollar date night, so it's encouraging them to just have a date night, but to talk about their money. But the module before that, we're going to be going through their previous 3 months of spending so that they can see where the money's going. So, and because it's a beta launch, they're going to have unlimited access to us. So
yeah, definitely. Well, I'll be signing Lucy and Adam up for that. They don't even know it yet.
Awesome.
But that's I think if I can give them that education really early, you know, that just helps their life. You know, you can't unlearn something.
Stop sharing.
Can you? Yeah.
No, that's right.
So what if you really don't want to know how much you're spending on sparkling?
I know.
But the beauty of it is we're not going to tell people they can't spend money.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's not about telling them they can't have their coffee. It's not about telling them. It's about making them aware of what they're spending, and then they can make the decision. That they need to decide what they're going to sacrifice. I mean, we can't say you can't do this, because we all know that if you tell someone to do something and they're giving up something that they love, then that's going to be too much of a sacrifice and they're never going to achieve their goals. So you've got to have, you know, some fun along the way. It can't all just be, you know, money, money, money. So
yeah, I can't get my wife to talk about money.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so we were actually the same. Actually, I couldn't get my notes up, but we were actually the same. So that's why I had the idea for this course, because when I met Anthony, like as you heard, I've got just this hideous money story. Like I really didn't have a great upbringing, and it was, I was in a lot of debt when I met Anthony, and because he came from this beautiful little immigrant Maltese family, and you know, they had properties, and he had an investment property already when I met him, and it was like, oh my God, I've got all this debt, and this guy's like doing so well. So for me to talk to him, I was really embarrassed. Like I had superannuation funds everywhere. It was just, I was a nightmare. I really was. Everything was on credit card. Because I was kicked out of home at 17. So I just paying rent, like I couldn't see a way off that hamster wheel. But then I met him, and then we were planning a big trip together overseas. That's actually the holiday we got engaged on. And I thought, I'm going to have to tell this guy, because I can't save money for this holiday. Like I was petrified. I was like, how am I going to go on holiday with this man? And I've got all this credit card debt. So, so he was great. He sat down and helped me work out a plan to pay it all off, and sorted out all of my superannuation. And so I call him my, you know, financial knight in shining armor. He kind of rode in on his, you know, steed and saved me. But I mean, you know, so I just want to encourage everybody to have those conversations, because, and even when we got married, it was still really hard. I still, you know, would shop and would hide purchases from him. And so financial infidelity, I was unfaithful financially. So
wow, I didn't even know that was a thing.
No, that's a great thing. I love that.
So
and I'm thinking of my husband right now, because if I could tell you the stories of he bought a caravan once that just sat in his parents' driveway for 2 weeks, and I drove past, and it wasn't a nice caravan, let me tell you. It was a doer-upper. But yeah, wow, I've got some serious bad stories.
But that's great for you to share, Kylie, and just Justin saying that he can't, you know, he doesn't speak to his wife about money, or she doesn't speak to him about money. Then it just shows you how important it is. And Suzanne, I think it's a great thing what you're thinking of doing for for your kids. It's getting them in early.
Yeah, so each time they get engaged, or whenever they get engaged, guess what present they're getting?
But for that introduction price, my eyes just lit up that I know so many friends who do not talk about money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Kylie and I have had the conversation that I'm very big on talking about it and sorting it out. And I've got so many friends who like just shy away from it. So as soon as you said that, I was like, oh God, I've got so many people who I know will sign up.
If you like, I'll send the link to everybody in the email, if you like. That'd be great. So we're actually going to send it to all of our clients.
Yeah, and we should promote it on the chamber as you know, you're all gold members, which means that you can send an EDM. I'll have to check with Stacey what the gold membership entitles you to, but I'm pretty sure there's at least an EDM you can send out individually, not as part of our other newsletters to the chamber database. So hey, stop the recording there.
Yeah, definitely.
So go, Chris.
Kylie,
Yeah.
Is the course also beneficial for single people, or only for couples?
So a lot of people have asked me that. So there's a lot of people out there doing courses for singles. So I wanted to make it unique and market for couples. But yes, absolutely, singles can do it. Yes.
Yep. Cool.
So it's just encouraging people to talk about money. That's really why the couples thing, but it's basic education on super and investing and all that sort of stuff. So it's relevant for singles. Yes.
Cool.
This would also be really interesting. My son has just got divorced, final papers came through yesterday, but after 3 years, but he's actually embarking on a new relationship that started about a month or two ago, and it looks very serious, which we are happy about. But we can see that there is definitely a difference in approach to money. I mean, we've always joked that my son squeaks when he walks, and he's the exact opposite. I mean, literally, my ringtone for my son is "money is too tight to mention." So we can see there's a difference, and that would be a great sort of connection point for them. So
it's funny because that attitude or that money story, people bring that into their business. And you mentioned pricing with someone and they just crumble. Oh no, I can't put the prices up, because it's a taboo. It's also a taboo subject. And so each of us have got a story there, and we've got to fight that. We've got to work around our money story to make sure our business is successful. But I can see that's a really great concept, Kylie. That's very exciting for you.
And it's great just to set up the foundations for people who, as you said, like weren't brought up with it. So I think it's great that those people will probably pass it on to their kids and things like that. So really, really good foundation. Good work.
Thank you.